Ihr seid hier genau richtig bei On the Road. Mein Kollege Nils, der ist ja ein Riesenfan von Animationsfilmen und als er erfahren hat, dass in Bonn eine PIXAR-Ausstellung stattfindet, hat er sich mal soeben ins Auto gehockt und ist hingefahren und hat es wirklich geschafft, den PIXAR-Character Artist Albert Lozano dort zu treffen und der ist bei PIXAR echt eine riesengroße Nummer.
Nun habe ich es endlich geschafft nach Bonn, vor die Kunst- und Ausstellungshalle der Bundesrepublik Deutschland. Denn hier ist die große Ausstellung PIXAR 25 Years of Animation. PIXAR, das große Studio, den meisten von euch bekannt. Toy Story, Die Unglaublichen, Findet Nemo, Oben, all diese Filme und viele mehr kommen von denen. Und heute ist sogar ihr Character Animation Director Albert Lozano hier und den können wir gleich noch interviewen. Da freue ich mich schon sehr drauf. Erstmal gucke ich mir aber die Ausstellung an und der Eingang ist, ich glaube, dort. Nee, dort.
Mein Bruder hat sich damals übrigens die Woody-Figur geklaut.
So, super Ausstellung, wie ich finde. Jetzt haben meine tollen Redakteure gesagt, Nils, setz dich mal auf den Boden zu den Figuren. Mache ich natürlich gerne, aber ich habe gar nicht so große Zeit, mich hier auszuruhen, denn jetzt treffe ich endlich Albert Lozano, seines Zeichens Character Art Director bei PIXAR, an mehreren Filmen mitgearbeitet und der wird jetzt mal ein bisschen aus dem Nähkästchen plaudern, hoffe ich, und uns ein bisschen erzählen, wie das so ist, bei PIXAR zu arbeiten. Und ein paar Challenges habe ich mir für ihn auch noch ausgedacht. Also mal gucken. Und bei mir ist Albert Lozano, seines Zeichens Character Art Director, schon seit 12 Jahren bei PIXAR, vorher bei South Park. Albert, nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So the first most important question, especially when we talk about PIXAR movies, is what is more important, the character or the story?
Oh, always the story. The character supports the story, always. They sort of work hand in hand together. It's actually very difficult to separate the two of them, but ultimately the story is always the most important thing. You can't really have a character without a story.
But did you ever have, like, when you were like scribbling around and then you found a character and thought, oh, this is a nice character, maybe, and then you start to imagine a story about that character?
Oh, of course, yeah. That happens all the time. Sometimes I'll just doodle and I'll do a drawing, but most of the time it's uninteresting to me until I have a story in mind. And when I'm designing characters, I'll draw sometimes just a drawing of a character, which doesn't really mean anything. And until I start thinking of the story behind that character, it becomes more interesting, and I'll start drawing more and start thinking of, you know, what is the character wearing? Why is the character wearing this? And the why of what a character is wearing is going to come from a story that I'm creating in my head for that character.
All right. How do you become a PIXAR artist?
Well, you know, it's very competitive. There's not very many character designers working at PIXAR. There's a lot of employees, but as far as specifically what we do in character design, we're a very small group, so it's very competitive. My personal story was I got very lucky and got into the studio very early. Well, early-ish for the studio. I started in 1999.
Okay.
And so PIXAR wasn't the big name that it is now. I joke around and say I could never get a job at PIXAR now, even if I were to just go in and apply. It's become a lot more difficult. But I consider myself very lucky because I love my job and I love what I do. I love creating characters. It's sort of like every kid's dream.
So what's the difference between, because you said you started to work at South Park Studios, I guess that's kind of two very different worlds, PIXAR and the South Park Studios?
Oh yes, they were very different. Similar, well, I had two separate jobs. I was a storyboard artist at South Park and I'm a character designer at PIXAR, but the biggest difference is just in the pace of working. On South Park, the pace was very fast. I tell everyone, it's like running a sprint.
My God, you killed Kenny, you bastard!
You have to run very fast in order to finish. At PIXAR, we take 4 years to work on a film, and so it's more like a marathon. You still have to work at a good pace in order to finish the race and finish a film, but you have to pace yourself. You can't burn yourself out, and so it's a little bit slower and steadier as far as the work pace goes.
So I have a question, because we as a team, our team from ShortCuts, we had some ideas for new PIXAR movies. And I'd like to tell you, we have 3 ideas, I'd like to tell them to you, and you tell me what you think about it. The first one, A grumpy old mole wakes up after hibernation to find his floor paved for a parking lot. By chance, he is a master in reverse parking, something the teenage lot worker can't. The mole gets shelter in exchange for his driving skills, and the two become best friends.
I love that, yes.
And the second is, the classical instruments are put to the test when an arrogant electric guitar joins the group. In the end, they realize that they are much better as a crossover band and save their orchestra from bankruptcy.
That's a good idea too. Yeah, I like that one.
And the third one is, a young email ends up in the spam folder by mistake. It searches the internet for its appendix. It is supported by Crumble, the slightly crazy cookie against a gang of pop-ups.
You know, I have to say number 3, just because it seems like the craziest one to even attempt to try and do and visualize.
You think so?
I think number 3.
I think it's their favorite too. My favorite always was the mole, because I thought of that cute, cuddly mole.
You know, I could do that very easily, but number 3 seems like a very difficult challenge.
Very challenging,
yes.
Yeah. It actually is, it actually is, that's true. You guys call me a drawing god, don't you? Yeah. Yeah, you do. Yeah, absolutely, definitely. They made up some, I don't know, words or whatever it is, some explanations, and they wanted us to
draw?
Yeah,
okay.
To have a drawing challenge.
A drawing challenge, okay, yes.
They tell us, and then we have to deal with it.
A resentful camel.
Resentful camel? That's pretty good, actually. I like that.
Here's mein missgünstiges Kamel. That's way better, actually.
A heroically brave fire extinguisher.
Heroically brave fire extinguisher. Okay.
Okay. Okay, ready.
That's pretty good. Ready?
I even tried to draw a cape, but it didn't work out that good.
You could just put it behind him.
Oh yeah, it's very good. Wow,
yes, yes.
I really like the arm.
Okay, next one.
Okay, next one.
Civil war amongst the inhabitants of a bag of peanut puffs.
Okay. This is a challenge, okay.
These are my Civil War peanut puffs.
You have the flags. That's a good idea,
Yeah, and
actually.
also the dead one.
And here's mine. You know, I think you might have actually won that one. I forgot to put flags. I'm going to sign this one and give this to you.
Oh, thanks a lot. So I give you mine.
You can show everyone. Oh, there you go.
I sign mine for you. Here you go.
Thank you very much.
Big sports. Thanks a lot. Thank you very, very much for your time, Albert.
Oh, you're welcome.
It was very enlightening. It was great meeting you. Thanks a lot.
It was a pleasure. Thank you, Nils.
Yeah, see you. Bye.
Bye.
Die Meisterwerke der zeitgenössischen Kunst könnte man sie nennen. Ja, von Albert Lozano und Nilz Bokelberg habe ich jetzt hier bei mir und die könnt ihr auch gewinnen. Aber um Himmels Willen, was ist das? Ein Feuerlöscher. Okay, schaut aus wie Bernd das Brot. Das schaut aus wie ein Tampon. Ein Kamel. Ein schlecht gelauntes Kamel und die könnt ihr gewinnen, ganz einfach, indem ihr euch eine eigene Idee für einen Pixar-Plot überlegt. Also wie könnte ein Pixar-Film ausschauen, das könnt ihr hier unten dann einfach posten und die 4 besten Ideen, die gewinnen, ganz einfach. Wer jetzt Lust auf Animationsfilme bekommen hat, sollte sich unbedingt unseren Shortfilm der Woche anschauen, nämlich Chump Clump, den ihr hier findet. Und dann gibt es noch einen zweiten, nämlich das Floß und da müsst ihr hier klicken. Nils. Und weißt, so schlecht ist es gar nicht.